don't know what device that is. There you go. Now that right there is an actual device. And perfect. Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Roll with Advantage. My name is Joe, and it is great to have you here. Welcome to session number 49 of the Salamander Coast. So no need to dip, dally, or delay. Let's go ahead and roll the intro and get started.
We're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I guess.
Hello, and we're back.
That'd be terrible, but you know.
Yeah. So, as is tradition here on Roll with Advantage, as opposed to my players, as opposed to me doing the summary, the DM doing the summary, I have the players do it. That's too much work. No. Got to delegate. It's a valuable lesson to have learned. All right. So, with that, Mark, you are in charge of the summary this week, so go ahead and take it away.
Yeah.
Whenever you are ready.
So session 48 was a lot of kicking it back and taking it easy, my guy. So we had a bit of a serious chat toward the beginning. We regrouped after seeing various parts of the village, and Lao Fei basically told the group that she would have the resources to teleport the team back to Fjordaleth in 3 days, and when they got there, they could attempt to secure that magical time stone that so many people seem interested in. And if they had that, then they would be able to more equippedly fight the Dark One and prevent Odin from doing nefarious time travel things, and become the time warriors that they are apparently meant to be. They also talked a little bit about Keothi, and it was of Lao Fei's opinion that as helpful and as useful as she could be to bring along again with the journey, she might have a bigger piece of the pie in her control now in this entire fight against the Dark One, because she might be able to convince the Goliaths of the Hearthstone to take action if she explains everything that she's been through and seen and how much is at stake, which would be very, very helpful because the Goliaths have basically not contributed to big world-ending fights like this for thousands of years. And then the group kind of split off and started hanging out and took some time to rest and prepare and everything, and it was just a lot of chilling. Bianca and Morwen faced off in Kingdoms and Castles. Morwen won. Cecily completely failed to be a cheerleader for Bianca. Afterwards, there was a lot of going to the astral pirate dude Konya and buying stuff from him, so much that he started to question how many friends Bianca had, and she was just going to keep bringing. Cecily tried acupuncture. Actually ended up a lot better than it could have gone. She was in a much better mood afterwards, and the acupuncturist went ahead and told Bianca that she should be more willing to let out the storm within. And meanwhile, Morwen and Sunni go for a run. They start discussing their views of Hrothgar, how both of them, though they had much different opinions of the man and things ended up in conflict, they both sort of wanted Hrothgar to be an answer to them, something that would make all of the confusion that they had both been through in their separate journeys through life make sense. And they go ahead and race each other back to the temple, and Morwen wins yet another challenge for the day. Ashima and Karasilla, who are becoming a regular pair, went ahead and talked to Dorji, who was a cultural informant that Lao Fei told them about. She was able to tell them a little bit about the Detsi, the group that seems to be corrupted by the Dark One and in a lot of conflict lately. Dorji also expressed disdain for the Gleeman, thinking that they were sort of stealers of stories, particularly the cultural and traditional stories of Loshar, which added a bit of a bad taste in the two's mouth about maybe what this whole Gleeman cloak situation means. But afterwards, they started to discuss the Tongmu path, and Ashima made it very clear that Dorji hadn't even really completed the first few parts of understanding in the religious system, so her word perhaps is still steeped in a lot of personal bias. Um, and Ashima even mentioned that he is even considering rewriting some of his religion's teachings, because after all, he is the guy, and he has learned quite a bit on his journey, being around other people and having his views readily challenged by his companions throughout the whole campaign, and he thinks there might be some places he could add nuance and understanding after so many thousands of years. So they go ahead and all regroup after that. It's the evening. They go to the tavern. Aaron Marilyn greets them with delight, and Carasilla performs again and does very well and has a great crowd going. And Suni and Cecily have a brilliant idea to try to drink a drink from, quote, every place. That obviously ends in a lot of chaos. They try to dance, and then, spaghetti, they vomit, and then they keep drinking, and then they vomit again, and then they pass out as Morwen carries them home. And then we have one little sobering moment right at the end where Carasilla and Aaron talk to each other again, but this time there's a lot more understanding and compassion coming from Aaron, saying that Carasilla truly is going to make a good Gleeman and is very deserving of the cloak, to never forget the power of giving stories to others and how much a story really means. And he explains how he got the cloak and kind of running away from home, meeting an older man who he only knew for one night who had the cloak, and feeling like he was just kind of called to carry on the storytelling tradition and take the cloak and try to figure it out. And now he's more than happy to watch Carasilla do that. And the party settles in for another night. We still have 2 days to go before Lao Fei is ready to take us out of the village. So, what do we do for now? I don't know. End of summary.
Okay. Yeah. So all of you get back to your cozy and comfy tower, your abode, and you head to sleep for the night. Obviously, Carasilla, you arrive a little bit later than everybody else, as you were a little held back in your conversation with Aaron. But eventually you arrive, and I would probably safely say that this is probably one of the first nights in a long time where all of you had to sleep. And due to the raucous behavior of the night, this is probably, like I said, one of the first times in a while where there's nobody on watch. And by the time that any of those more watchful people in the party realized what they had done, you've already awakened the next morning. No knife to your throat, no dark words in your dreams. Peaceful, serene sleep. It is a nice feeling to know that while you are in this hidden valley, while you are here in this tower with your friends, you are safe in a way that you haven't felt in a very, very, very long time. In all honesty, probably since you set out on your adventure many, many months ago. So, with that, our group of adventurers awakes. Some of you head downstairs. Some of you begin to cook a small meal for your friends, your companions. And you get ready to tackle the day. So, real quick, are there any particular morning rituals, or more so specifically, who is taking on the burden of cooking breakfast this morning at the risk of maybe being criticized by their friends and companions?
Bianca is pretty used to doing that, unless someone else really wants to take charge. So,
Morwen would help you with that, though she is working on her own little project on the side.
ooh, okay, cool.
I gotta get that beauty sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, so then Bianca is the main chef. She is head chef. And Morwen is going to be assuming the role of sous chef here, so that's good to know. So Bianca, what are you cooking? What are you making?
Um,
What's the Bianca
So-
specialty?
yeah. So, honestly, crepes, and there's going to be a bunch of options on what to fill it with. So if you want like the more traditional, like sugar and syrup, kind of going
Breakfast
with
bar.
it, or you got like powdered sugar with strawberries and other fruits and berries and things, some greens even, because there's some funky crepes that you can have. So, yeah, crepes is like the base, and then maybe like some hash browns.
Oh
And
yeah, okay.
definitely coffee and orange juice, some of the traditional stuff, but the main difference is crepes.
Freshly squeezed. Yeah, it makes sense that Bianca would have an affinity for Tarkirian cuisine.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that. All right. None of you are from Tarkir, so this is foreign food to you, but it's pretty good foreign food as you begin to eat it. So yeah, you have enough time, right? There's no pressure or stress. You have a fully capable area, and it's probably something Bianca would have made for herself when she had lived alone. So make these crepes, small little breakfast bar, your little hash brown, some freshly squeezed OJ, and your friends, well, they are greeted by the wondrous aromas of the different sweet and savory crepes you prepare for all of them.
Cecily is getting some savory crepes and some OJ to fight this pounding headache. I imagine she, like, while breakfast was being made, she was trying to do meditation and just, like, holding her head in her hands the whole time. And is now just, like, half asleep at the table.
So I'm going to interject here real quick. So, Cecily, as you reach for your orange juice, you see this movement, and this glass gets placed in front of you that's like this off-red color. As Morwen sets it there, that will fix you right up. And she does the same, putting it in front of Suni as well.
Cecily's gonna shrug and then turn to Suni and hold it up to Clink and be like, 21.
Yeah. And at the sound of the clink, Suni will just kind of put his hand to his head. So loud. Oh my god.
You know, the sun is really there this morning. And she'll drink whatever this is.
Oh,
Down the
and
hatch.
it's atrocious.
Ugh.
It does
Good.
not taste good.
This is a nosed plugged kind of situation.
Oh yeah, you can't even identify the flavor. It's just bad.
It's like garbage, but not even quite that.
You're so focused on it, you forget your headache while you're drinking it. It's that bad.
Now I just have a tongue ache. Ugh.
Or stomach ache.
Yeah, in a few seconds. It aches
Or-
immediately, this beverage. It just... Ugh. Man.
My own recipe for hangover cures.
What the
Sure,
fuck
fill
did
it.
I just put into my body, Morwen?
Don't worry about it.
You're like sure it's not poison?
Yeah, Carasol's had it many times. She helped me perfect it over the years.
Ah,
It feels like
you
poison.
are. So you two are fun. And she'll start digging into crepes now.
Okay.
Whew.
So, with that, as all of you are continuing on with your morning rituals, doing what your character does to get ready for the day, you can hear a small knock at the door.
I'll get it.
Okay. And Morwen, as you open the door, you can see Laufey standing there, smile on her face, but you can tell that she's here with intent. Definitely not here just to say hi.
Morin just immediately moves aside and kind of gestures her to come in.
You can see her about to say, "May I come in?" and then kind of smiles. "Oh, thank you." And will walk in to the tower. She walks in, she smiles at all of you, and says, "Well, I wanted to give you a small update with some things that I have discovered that affects your journey. When we had originally talked some time ago, I had told you that I needed at least 3 days in order to get everything organized, make sure that I had everything. But last night, I was able to find what I needed. And through some testing on my own, whenever all of you are ready, you may begin to move to Fjardeleth. Now, of course, I understand if you wish to take another day to relax and to calm yourselves, as I'm not sure exactly how much time will be in between your departure and your return. So take this day if you wish, but if by this evening you feel as though you're ready, know that I am ready to show you the way."
When you send us there, where exactly are we going to end up?
In Fjardeleth, but you will... There is a large park that exists behind the market stalls in the southern portion of the city. There is a large oak tree there that I can teleport you through. There is a large tree, the same one in the temple where Cecily was returned to us by. You'll step through that tree and out into the other. So then it will be up to you to get across the bridge to Tyr's Temple, to get into Tyr's Temple, to find the stone inside the temple, get to the door that would lead to the inner sanctum, get to the Temple of Time ruins within the inner sanctum, and then activate the temple. Now, you need to do all of this quickly, as Odin has probably discovered by now that he has no way of finding where you are, as any type of detection magic, scrying, sending even, unless it is sent out, cannot be sent in. But there may come a time when you are in there that he decides to scry to see if you've left. And the moment he realizes that you are in Fjardeleth, the alarm bells will go off. The bells will begin to toll, and your time will be numbered. You will have very few options if that happens.
No
Like there
pressure.
needs to be a couple of points of clarification, perhaps, or insight that you have. We've contacted someone that is in currently Fjardeleth that, well, she, long story, had the stone at some point and was going to offer her services to help us get it back. It could perhaps be a way to at least find out where the stone is. You seem certain that's in the temple, but I don't suppose you know exactly where.
No, sadly, I do not know exactly where the stone is. This person that you know may, if they were the original owner of it, perhaps they would have some insight as to where it may be. I will also say that I'm not sure of your interaction with her. At least I hope there was. Looking to your lantern, Bianca. I do know that Hel is an ally that can be counted on within those city walls. Any information that I have on Fjardeleth, she is the one who gives it to me.
I got a good feeling when I talked to her, but I'm glad we have even more reassurance now. I am curious about how familiar you are with Loki, and I know the problem is that trickery and lying is his specialty,
Yes.
but I have reason to question his loyalty to his family, and is it worth even considering him a potential asset to this?
I wouldn't count it out. I have personally never tried to make allegiance with Loki, even considering his lineage. I thought there to be too much risk in it, not knowing if he would be allied more with one half of his blood or the other.
Maybe it won't be our first option and more of a last resort then.
I guess, is there anyone else other than just Hel that we could potentially rely upon? Things go to shit, I guess.
Well, there is... I do know that Lo wished to speak with all of you. Apparently, Lo has information on a potential ally within the Western Salamander.
Well, can't hurt to ask. We're definitely going to reach out to some of our contacts today, so I'm thinking we might leave tomorrow morning, perhaps tomorrow night if we want night on our side. I'm uncertain, but regardless, I don't think it's going to be in the next few hours.
Understandable, of course.
We wanted to talk to a few more people today and just kind of get ourselves a little bit better prepared. I feel like we could leave, if not tonight, tomorrow morning, though. We'll kind of see how today goes.
Of course. Yes.
Especially it'd be my preference if we are going to reach out to Oriana to leave it till tomorrow. Want to go in there with full capacity, and well, if I'm messaging, then won't be doing that.
That's
Makes
true.
sense.
Of course. Well, then, it is decided. Not today, but tomorrow, then. Take tonight to rest, and tomorrow we can have you depart then. Well, I will begin the preparation for the ceremonies, for the spells, and then, as soon as you're ready, come find me in that temple, and I will send you on your way.
Just perhaps one other thing. I think it's pretty much settled how we're getting to the past, but our return... I mean, if we're going to be in Bromsgrove, surely we wouldn't have to travel all the way back to, well, here if there's another temple, or, God forbids, back to Fjardeleth.
Well...
Is there a way we can return?
That, I suppose, is one downside that I thought that we had spoken of before, but it will be up to all of you to determine how to return, and in what way that is, as typically the locating of a Temple of Time would be the way to do that, using the stone to channel through it the proper magics. But what you may find in Brahmsgrove is, if there is no Temple of Time there that you can use, you'll have to find some other way, whether by finding a Temple of Time somewhere else, or I don't know.
Well,
Maybe we could see if we could pull a couple of strings with the hidden flame. Imagine if anyone knows anything, it'd be them.
potentially. Thankfully, honestly, getting back's the last thing I'm concerned about. We have many hurdles to go through first before that's our concern.
Test.
And at least we know where one is. It is in Fjarlaleth, so that could make things a little awkward. Because it's the
If
past.
it's in the past, then we have no preconceived notion about us, right?
Right, but then we have to activate it in the past. And it's mostly just confusing. It's not really a problem, I'm just very confused.
Morwen's already rubbing the side of her head.
If I could
Yes.
provide you with one piece of advice from what I've learned from Freya in regards to most of these things, don't think too hard about it, and you'll figure it out.
That
That's a
sounds
good
good to
motto.
me. Yeah. Up top, Suni.
Here you go. Yes.
Well, I guess at worst, then we get an extra month to ourselves.
That sounds like a lot of kingdoms and castles.
Or we can just, since we're in the past, we know when things are going to happen and we can go be sure they don't.
Yes.
Like certain seals breaking.
We don't even know where the seals are, though.
But we could learn that.
Plenty of time to discover the answer.
Regardless, a problem for another time.
Quite literally.
Haha.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as I said yesterday, I might be able to talk to the food person, because that really might be the only skill that I'm able to apply to any of this right now is food.
Did you work on a farm when you were, before all of this, Cecily?
I wouldn't say that.
Oh,
I would
perhaps you
say
helped
I-
organize a granary in your village where you come from?
You're really talking me up here. I know how. Well, okay. Let me put it this way. I know how to steal a loaf of bread and make it last for a week.
Ah, well, sometimes all we need is passion. Sometimes that's good enough.
Oh, you want passion? I mean, I also know how to eat it all in 5 minutes. So,
Well, good. I'm sure your skills will be very valuable to Somo.
yeah, I hope.
Then, sorry for bothering you. I know you've been busy. You didn't happen to bring anything with you, did you?
In fact, I did. Part of the reason why I came to give you that information, but so that way, perhaps today, if you'd like to try it out, you may.
Yes, please.
Morwen, to you, I present, and she pulls out a small, what looks to be like gemstone, but kind of has this like frosty air coming off of it. And etched into the front is this very simple symbol of what looks to be a bear roaring. This is, I like to call it the charge of the white bear. I harvested this essence from a massive behemoth in the elemental plane of frost. And I embedded it into the stone, and she'll kind of like socket it into the axe. And as a bonus action, you can move up to your movement speed to a creature and slam your axe into them, dealing 1d12 slashing damage and 1d12 cold damage. You can do this once per short rest.
Hell yeah.
And I'll go ahead and add this to your character sheet as a feat.
Oh, thank you. I was
Yes.
just about to ask that.
Yes. Manage feats. Charge of the white bear. There you go. All right, it's on there.
I mean, this is so nice of you, but I'm really just geeking out about how cool this is. More than saying that in character.
Well, geek out then, I suppose. It's very exciting.
Thank you. I'm sure it will come in handy.
Sure it
I'll
will.
use it well.
Good to hear. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, rest of your morning, and I suppose then I will see all of you sometime tomorrow.
Till tomorrow, then.
Yes. That she'll smile, give a small nod of her head, and then head out of the tower.
You know, I did garden for a very short time. That's kind of like farming for bunnies.
That is certainly a way to look at it.
Oh, man.
Rabbits do eat a lot.
Well, no more talking around it. I ain't gonna help shit, but let's go anyway.
Perhaps we should
Question,
reach
do we
out
want to
to
contact
Oriana first.
Ariana? Yes, I was going to ask if we want to do that this morning, perhaps. I feel like it'd be better than this evening. Get plans in motion, give her time to, well, get any help she can.
Yeah, let's do it now while we're all here.
Okay. Give me a hot second.
And Morwen's just looking at her axe like a kid on Christmas looking at a new toy. Just looking at it from every angle, even though nothing about it has changed, minus this one socket.
Ursula will reach out to Oriana. Just with a simple... You still aim to help us? We'll be there tomorrow morning. Stone should be in the temple. Perhaps you can pinpoint further for us?
Nice.
That pretty much does it. Dang.
You receive a response from Oriana. This time it seems as though she's not in the middle of a conversation at all. Seems like she can speak freely. As she says, well, I would be more than happy to help. Sadly, if you think they are letting me anywhere near that stone, you are daft.
A simple no would have sufficed, but alright.
Perhaps.
Well, not exactly a no. I mean, she still wants it. We can use
We'll
that.
try again. Certainly have the time for it, at least.
How many more times can you do it?
I want to say 4...
I don't know.
That's
How
a
many
lot
more
of
times can you do it?
Hold on, let me... Yeah, okay, I can do it
I,
one
wa-
more
I
time.
wasn't trying to trick
So
you.
that's what people sound like when they type 8 question marks.
What can I say? Okay, yes, words. Hello. My apologies. Hey, another sending.
Okay.
Not asking you to get it physically. We can handle that. But I'm sure you have your own methods? Got one more word, but I don't even know what to say, so that's all.
Bruh.
Bro.
We all went somewhere else.
Oriana responds. If all you need to know is where it is at, I'm sorry to say, to my knowledge, it is in Odin's private office.
Shit.
He'd know exactly when we enter, wouldn't he? We've already
Yeah.
established that.
I think last time I stuck my pinky in there, he showed up a second later.
Well,
Then we know when the clock really starts ticking.
Right. We just gotta grab it and run faster than a god can teleport.
Sorry, this is a Ryan question. Cecily knows where the door is, right? That should lead to the Temple of Time?
Yeah, it's about 30 seconds away from Odin's office.
Well, that's good.
and
If you're sprinting,
Are
it's
gonna
about
be the
20.
Longest. Those will be the
Oh,
longest
also-
seconds.
I also have
Oh
a little bit
God.
of teleportation myself, though. To help
For
speed
you
the
and
process,
one other
aka I've got
person.
dimension door.
Yeah, for you and one other person. All right, Cecily,
That's
you and I
fine.
are getting
We
in the
only need
door. Everybody else is fucking dead.
The whole party doesn't need to get the stone together. Like, the rest can be waiting, yeah?
So,
Mm-hmm.
Ready and primed to go.
I know I said specifically that maybe Loki should be a last minute decision. Or last second, like last resort. But he probably would know how to get in there undetected.
I think it would be unwise to contact him further. Not because I don't agree. I worry that they view a rather childlike. They have a rather childlike disposition towards planning. If they're discovered and don't feel like they have control the entire time, Loki might think what more they could get out of this.
Right.
More than just a simple jest, a power move.
We
One
can't
that-
give her time to out chaos us.
Correct.
Right. But what if, and we can all say no this, but what if I talk to them through like the sending that Carousel can do? Because they could have killed me. They could have outed me to Odin. I literally forgot, mostly from the month hiatus, but anyway.
What my hiatus?
With everything going on, with everything going on in Cecily's death, something happened right after I saw Hell, and right before we went into the mines. I did a little bit of snooping, which I didn't intend to end up in a place I wasn't supposed to be. That's just kind of how it happened. It was light snooping, and then it ended up being bad snooping.
That's what I always say. Anyway, go on.
Um, he knew where I was, and Odin almost found me, and he helped. If I can talk to him and at least figure out why and give like no further information on us, I can literally present it as a "what game are you playing" kind of conversation. He doesn't need to know anything. He still won't know where we are. He just knows that we exist, which they know already. Would anyone be uncomfortable with that?
I mean, if you think you can trust him, like, I'm personally on board with at least testing the waters there. I think it's good to have more allies than, well, perhaps just one with hell. And I can offer you 50 words.
Yeah, I just want to see how far we can trust him, to like what degree. I want to know if there was a ulterior motive to him helping me. I can't foresee it. Like, why? Unless he just really doesn't like his family. But maybe there's something else I'm missing. I don't even know the person, so.
If
No,
I
he was-
remember, when we were busy, he was trying to spear one of them. I don't think it'd be that hard to convince this person to stab his family, you know?
I mean, also listen to
No.
to think about the way that Odin and Thor talked about the whole family. They pretended like he didn't exist half the time.
Do you want to reach out to them then?
I think I want to. I just want to I feel like we don't know enough. I would like to know a little bit more and see. And make a better decision, I guess. Yeah, I'd like to. Yes, I've made my decision. I want to.
Well,
The
when you're
only
ready.
only words of caution I offer, I would not offer even a remote hint that we're returning.
Oh no, not even gonna mention that.
Then carry on.
All right. Okay, so it's 25 words.
But I have 2 more slots left for it, so
Right.
you can
But for
use
now,
another
just
half,
this first
but yeah.
introductory
Yeah.
one. We'll just see how this goes. Hello. This is Bianca, Purple Tiefling. I don't know if you would remember, so I just wanted to add that.
It's been like 3 days.
Well, I don't know. There's plenty of Biancas in the world, so.
Oh, this is a character, please.
No, it's not. This is Felicity. Thank you for your help. But why? I'm just confused. Send.
You receive a response. Ah. Hello. Odin is a man who enjoys order. I can recognize an agent of chaos when I see one. At least, chaos for him.
Well, his response gave me. I don't know. Should I follow up? Like. So.
Again, you got 25 words?
He wants chaos, but like. Just in general?
Well, this whole thing is his plan, right? I don't really think Loki gives a shit about it.
What whole
So if
thing?
we tell him we're gonna get the stone, that's a lot of fucking chaos for Odin.
I think the particulars of the stone should be left for now. I think, again, if we can determine him to be some kind of ally to us, that's good. But I don't think it's a good idea to involve him unless we have to, especially considering Laufey seem to have some reservations about them.
Right.
mean,
I just. I'm worried, like concerns that I've brought up before, that he's too much of a wild card. I just need. If they had an emotional attachment or reason to want to be on our side, I'd feel better. But I just I mean, I could ask another follow-up question and see, and pry a little deeper and see if that helps. But
I think
What would
You're
you
more than
say?
welcome to.
say something along the lines of probably like, I understand wanting chaos, but I feel like there's a deeper reason for you to cause that kind of disturbance with your family members or something to that effect. Anyone else have any suggestions on how to pry something out of him?
I'm afraid I don't, not without giving too much information. And even then, it's all about his word. If he truly is someone who just enjoys the game, for lack of a better expression, I don't know if we can take anything he says at face value. Forgive me, I don't mean to doubt your plan or your instincts. We're so close.
No. I agree. If we have one more thing to help us, I think we need one. But I also don't want it to be a detriment. You feel?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else feel really if no one feels strongly about this, then let's just drop it. But if anyone feels like we should try again, I'll try again.
If I had to decide now, my gut is telling me that we should not involve Loki in this plan.
I think we know enough that if it comes up, we can at least give it our best shot. But I don't know if there's much more we could say right now that wouldn't just be, hey, want to ruin Odin's day?
Does
I think, if
anyone have...
anything, the most that we could get out of it is perhaps a little bit more confirmation about how much she's willing to go against Odin and, well, the rest of his family by extension. But depending on how he responds, we might not even get that. I would suggest maybe trying to lead him on to such a response. But again, I feel like he is not exactly the kind to let himself get pinned down too quickly or make any strong allegiances either way. Does kind of go against the whole chaos thing after all.
Right. What do you think, Ashima?
It's hard to say. I think it's hard to predict the unpredictable. And even the wisest gardener respects the audacity of a stone. I say whatever we decide, we don't count on anything.
Do you have any strong feelings, Desmond? Because right now it kind of seems like we should just drop the whole Loki thing.
Suni.
It's fine.
Suni!
It's okay. It's okay. Same thing as what Ashima said, minus the stuff about stones and gardeners. That I want to try to outsmart him and think about what's like the most chaos he could bring out, but I just don't know if I can, and if I don't know. I think there's too many variables by adding him in.
All right, then let's just leave it for now.
I think it was a great idea, though.
Oh, I'm not.
And you were
Thanks.
probably right that he does know how to get in, but that's all right.
Which again, if we have any changed minds over the course of, well, today, hopefully, I am able to offer it once more.
Right.
I mean, as far as I know, the way to get in that door was me, right? I mean, I don't know exactly what I have to do, but I don't know exactly what I have to do ever. So I think it should work out. We'll just get to the door and I'll take a breath and see what happens.
Yeah, it's like that thing that Laufey just said that I don't remember.
Oh
What
yeah,
was it?
that one.
Good motto, yeah. I remember it being really, really good, but
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Well,
What if we try our best throughout today to speak with people and see if they know a way of going in places undetected or even dispelling magic? I don't know what could be, alarming him when people enter that space, but that is, I think, my biggest worry right now is we're going to get so close to the end, and right before we get to the end, we're screwed. So we can look into maybe finding scrolls or just people who have knowledge of this. And let's see what we can do about that space.
In all honesty, I feel like Laufey would be the one to go to about those kinds of things, and, well, I should hope that if she did have some way that we'd be able to have some form of undetection, she would have already offered it. But then again, perhaps even seeing if Konya has anything. Maybe not his specialty, but he's the trader after all.
I don't think, even if it ends up being nothing, we might as well try. I think that's what I'll do with my day today. I'll just kind of do research and speak to people and see what I can discover if there's anything. I'll talk to Laufey probably first so she can direct me in the right direction.
I still want to talk to Food Person. Call me one-track minded. I don't know. It's only got one more day here. It's really nice. Last time I was in Fjordaleth, things didn't go so sweet, so...
we should have a picnic before we leave.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Something like that. Go up by a waterfall. And Ashima mentioned something about maybe doing monastery stuff here. You know? Might as well get that shit rolling if we're gonna be gone for however long we're gone. Or maybe in the past, we will have been not here for a long time. You know?
Sure.
We should get started on that.
Yeah, I would agree.
And also, probably shouldn't forget that Lo apparently wants to talk to us all. I feel like
Right.
that's something we should definitely prioritize.
That's the salamander, right? I'm pretty sure Laofei said that, but I was like still coming alive.
Felt that.
Seems so.
I wanted
So we're
to
gonna.
speak to them as well anyway.
Wait, you have plans with one of the three salamanders, Mr. Suni?
I wouldn't say plans. Makes
Were
it
you
sound
invited
such-
to an evening cocktail?
I no, but I wish I was, and now I feel a little disappointed. But
Technically, we've all been invited.
true.
Should we all
Okay,
go
let's
together then and then separate?
Yeah, let's go talk to the Sky Sally, and then we can all go and do whatever we gotta do.
Could be that what we find out there will change everything.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a
I think-
momentous occasion.
Laufey has to take us to Low, right?
Oh, does she? That's Ryan asking.
I thought so. That's Felicity.
That's Ryan asking Joe if that was said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, yeah, Joe.
yeah. If you guys if you head to the temple, she can show you where to go from there. That's how you find Lo. Is just through the temple, which is where Laofei is. So you know.
Cool.
Yeah, so-
Perfect.
In all the boxes. Hell yeah, let's go.
Convenience is my middle name as a DM.
Hell yeah.
Aha! I thought it was,
Walter.
what? Is it Charles?
Nope.
I don't. What is your middle name? I fucked it up because I
You've-
forgot your middle name.
You've lost the
Shit.
privilege of knowing.
Damn.
No, it's
Oh,
it's
man.
it's supremely ironic because my middle name is Christian.
Ah, that's. I knew it was a CH.
I remember the first time I ever heard Kayla drop the Joseph Christian.
The earth shook, the window
Yeah.
shattered,
I think that we were.
the children cried.
It was so funny.
Well, before we go, Cecily's gonna notice what Ashima said and about it being momentous. So she'll turn to him and. Is there anything we're supposed to do? Is this like a religion thing?
Less of religion. It's hard to explain. A figure of supreme exaltation and reverence. No.
So would it be weird to bow?
No, but do not do so as you would bow to a king or a queen. To show fealty, bow to show respect.
Okay. Well then. Let's go to Low.
Okay.
I
So
want
with
to talk
that,
to Suni on the way there if we have time.
oh yeah, sure. As the group of you are heading there, it's maybe a 5-10 minute walk if you're really taking your time to the temple. So yeah, that's no big deal.
So yeah, Moron would just kind of like walk over to Suni at some point.
Hmm.
So I was thinking about something you said yesterday,
Okay.
and I have a question, but I want to apologize in advance if it is a stupid question or if it comes across as insincere. But I was confused by what you said.
Okay, go ahead.
You mentioned that you were hoping Hrothgar could provide you more answers and I remember that you said just before you meant us, you meant a what is that name? A Bahir? Was that what it was called? Another creature of draconic origin that you tried to communicate with, correct?
Yes. It did not communicate back to me, but it I saw that it could hear me. That's been feels like so long ago.
Yeah, it's like it's been months.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it has been like 2 months since that in time. We were on a boat for a long time. Anyways.
Yes, I forgot about the boat.
Well, I was just thinking, you talked about how you wish Trothgar had more answers for you, but in a way, don't you think he kind of gave you exactly what you needed?
I think it is unfair to to you and the rest of everyone else to say that he gave me exactly what I need.
How so?
I think he unlocked something for me, but I don't think I would have been ready to see that if it hadn't been for everybody along the way. If that makes any sense. And I still cannot fathom what it is that I experienced when we were there, but I think it would have been too much for me, 6 months ago.
Well,
and maybe that's a really cheesy answer, but I understand what you mean as well, that he will remain an important figure in my life no matter what, and no matter how I feel about him.
it's actually not what I meant.
Oh, okay.
I guess the thing I'm confused about is he helped point you in the direction I heard you speak to Keothi about it, of Elowen, Mother of Mountains, a being that you served for numerous lifetimes, who has given you opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. I guess I was curious, these questions you have you asked her them yet?
I don't know how to talk to her or what I'm supposed to do. I mean, I met her that one time, but it's because I, had my skull slammed into a bar, and I don't know. I don't know if there's an easier way to communicate with her or not.
I'd be happy to give you a hand with that if you'd like. And she clearly smirks as it was a joke.
I would gladly accept.
All right, well, your nose is going to look a little worse than when Hrothgar had his hands on you. If you wish. She just cracks her knuckles for a second. Again, clearly still joking.
I think that would kill me.
Nah, you're probably right. My apologies. Anyways, I don't know. It was on my mind. Again, this is a being who has brought you back numerous times.
Yeah.
I don't know what your relationship with Bahamut is, but this Elowen clearly cares for you very deeply. According to you, she immortalized every one of your past lives in a way.
Yeah. And it's a weird feeling knowing that somebody like that, something like that cares so deeply about something like me. It's scary, but it's also kind of nice, I guess.
Well, when you do figure out how to communicate with her, maybe she'll tell you why.
I hope so. If you have any advice about praying or any of that kind of stuff, I'll gladly take that as well, because I'm out of my league with it.
Morwen snorts. I'm not the guy. Sorry. That's certainly not my specialty.
No, I just don't know if anybody in our group is that guy.
Well,
Other than Keothi, that is.
again, she's connected to you in some way. Perhaps it's worth trying. At some point.
Yeah. I thank you for bringing that up. I think, talking about it makes me feel like better to do something about it, I guess, if that makes sense.
I think so. But regardless, you're obviously free to do as you choose. I just wish you luck with whatever it is you're exactly looking for.
When I find out what it is, I'll let you know.
Morn gives a thumbs up.
Okay. So, as the conversation comes to a close, you have the long walk up that sort of spiral staircase up to that temple. Oh, God! Damn, Felicity.
I had to go a little bit harder. Sorry.
Woo! No, that's okay. So, like I planned it, yeah. So, as you're making your way up and sort of getting to those final steps, Suni, there's a little thing that happens. You feel a connection be made, and you hear a voice in your head. Hi, Suni. I just got back to the Hearthstone, and I wanted to let you know that I missed you, and I hope you're doing okay.
I'm literally crying.
Oh,
That's so sad. I love Keothi so much. So Suni will respond, and he will say, "I'm literally crying," even though he can't cry. I miss you so much as well, and I hope being back home is treating you well. We're trying to figure stuff out, and I'm sure I cut off after that, and then it sent. I don't know. That was probably like 30 words. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Suni, you're breaking up.
Going through a tunnel!
She doesn't send another message, but you can feel her say that now that she's back home, if she were to use more than one spell slot for this, the elders might be a little upset with her for wasting her resources. So just the one for today. But who knows? Maybe more tomorrow.
And Suni will let everybody know that Keothi said hello, and that she misses all of us.
So much love.
What do daily Kyo updates look like?
Yeah.
Start a Twitter for just Keothi.
Please do. That'd be so good.
Oh, God. Alrighty. So with that, all of you enter into the temple, and there is this eerie sense of peace followed up by grief as well. Grief at knowing what purpose the table in front of that tree served, and how there is joy and happiness around it, but also a little bit of anxiety and just a little bit of trauma as well. But as you enter, you can see Lao Fei currently moving around the room in different ways, just tending to the grove and just taking in everything. And as she sees all of you, she smiles and says, "So, then I take it you must be ready to speak with Lo if you come here then."
Yeah, I think now's the time.
Very well. I can tell you this much, that they are excited to speak with all of you. Follow me. With that, Laofey turns and she begins to walk deeper and deeper and deeper into this temple, and then further and further into a cave. So you enter and you walk and walk, maybe 10, 15 minutes at the most, until you begin to hear what sounds like waterfalls rushing, crashing down into rock. And there is like clouds of steam and fog rolling around in the area. And as they slowly begin to clear, you can see these rocky crags, these hundreds of waterfalls cascading down. Behind the waterfalls, there are these rock walls embedded with gems and crystals that shine and glow and gleam, creating this like almost as if you're underwater, that sort of like light lines in water that you can see just cascading all over these caves around you. As you enter, they're home. So, as you enter, Lo smiles to all of you and says, "I will leave you," and bows, and then leaves. All of you stand there, looking around, and after a few moments, you can feel the ground underneath your feet begin to shake as you see this large form fly around a corner. Long. You can see white scales and these tufts of blue fur on its back, these two horns that come back angularly from its head, and these long wisps of blue hair coming off of its nose. Two gleaming white eyes that serve as beams of light illuminating the cave. As you see, Lo, the eastern salamander, land in front of you.
Oh my god.
As they land and they look down upon you, they begin to speak, and their voice echoes throughout the cave. "You come to me, and I am very happy that you have come. You have made me and my brother and sister very proud for what you have done. Speak to me, and I may answer whatever questions you may have, if I am able to answer them."
Well, I suppose, firstly, it is a true honor to be in your presence. And we're told that perhaps you could help us with a potential ally near Fjallarth? Or perhaps just the Western Salamander itself?
Yes and yes. There is an old friend of yours, or as Yorm has phrased it to me, from what they have said, an ally who you have a contentious relationship with, wishes to redeem themselves. Yorm saved his life.
You see, from what he had told Yorm, Odin's men took him out into the middle of the sea and were going to throw him beneath the crashing waves. Yorm sensed his presence, heard him cry out, awoke from his slumber, and saved him. He has been learning, talking with Yorm, and he wishes to atone for his anger and the problems he caused all of you. Should you have him, Yorm and Hrothgar will do what they can to ease your journey and your mission.
Where would we be able to find him once we got there?
Yorm knows of all creatures that enter his land, same as I know of all creatures who enter mine. If you enter the western Salamander, Yorm will know you are there. All Yorm asks for in return is to have their scale returned to them.
I mean, I certainly don't mind giving it back. And that reminds me as well, and Suni will pull out the one that matches Low, and kind of bowing a little bit, present it to them.
You can see Low's head shrink down to eye level with you, and you can see that it's like tooth, like it's one like bottom sharp tooth kind of jutting out of its face is the same size as you. So when it exhales on you, there's like this gust of wind that kind of makes your cloak billow as Lo looks at the scale and looks you in your eyes.
So, you are the one who the scales accepted. Very interesting.
Suppose so.
And you can see this large salamander form begin to kind of, almost like a snake, begin to kind of move around you in a circle, kind of blocking you off from the rest of the party.
Very interesting indeed. You have the scent of earth, of soil and grass, not of lightning, brimstone.
Suni is just wide-eyed.
Not only that, your pattern, your weave. All of us share bonds with one another. We are all part of the same tapestry that creates the world that we know. Some threads are clear to follow, like young Master Ashima down below. great reincarnation of Tongu. A thread in the pattern that is easy to follow. And you, a thread in the pattern that is easy to follow. Very interesting indeed.
You can see the snake-like form of this salamander begin to unravel and return to an upright position looking down at the group.
You may keep my scale, young Master Suni. Hopefully it may come to aid you in a time of need. My brother and sister may not be as giving, but to me, you have earned it.
Suni will give a very, very deep bow this time. And in Draconic, he will say, I am very grateful. I promise to use it wisely. And then stand back up and return to the group.
Low nods.
You, young,
Looking to you, Morwen.
a look of conflict frames your face. Why?
You know, Hrothgar and I don't exactly have the best history.
Blow is just looking at you, hoping for you to elaborate.
Of course he is. It's not uncomfortable having that just stare at you. He put everything that we were trying to do in jeopardy with what he did in Fjartalith. Nearly cost some of us our lives. He was supposed to go back to Brahmsgrove to help the Children of the Flame. Now he's not even there. Now I'm wondering what is going on there.
Children of the Flame. Very familiar am I with their cause. My brother and sister were there. The origin of their cause. Fighting in the first war against the great darkness that came to consume our reality. We fought back with the first children of the flame. But their passion, some of them have become twisted. Like a tumor, they continue to grow and grow and grow. And as Yorm has told me, many of your kind were lost at the Battle of Delner's Pass, were you not?
Yeah. We were there.
Ah. But now you stand here. Peculiar, is it not?
Not the word I'd use.
What is the word you would use?
What do you call hope mixed with cruelty?
Yes. I suppose you may see it that way. But do you not think it strange that in one true cruel twist of fate, you have found yourself on this journey? In a whirlwind, your life is changed, and closer than you ever were before, you now stand face to face against that darkness. Closer than you ever were, serving in those ranks.
Interrupt,
Lord.
but that closeness also came at a great cost.
Yes? Most great things come at a great cost. Millions died in that first war against the dark. Millions died, their souls lost forever to the Dark One, to the great shepherd of the night. Souls that would never be returned to this plane, regardless of how hard we try. But their sacrifice allowed us to live, to grow, and to fight again another day. Sacrifices in war are inevitable. For me, for you, for Lao Fei, or any of those that are close to you that have left us. Even for the gods themselves, death is inevitable. You may not like to hear this.
Looking to you, Carasilla.
But it is the truth of the world you live in. Unless you wish to join the world of the Dark One, to live in a world with no death and no time, a world of endlessness, a world shrouded in shadow where death is no longer a concern. There is no war. There is nothing. There is no pain. There is nothing.
I just feel like those two things are at very opposite ends of a scale. And personally, I would like to see if there's not, well, something a little different.
It is human nature to seek, to try and find. I can tell that whoever's lives you lost in that battle, in that pass, they mean a great deal to you. And I am sorry to be the one to tell you this. In the war against the Dark One, There is no soul to beckon back to a body. And there is no light for them to find. But do not let it inspire despair. Allow it to bring forth inspiration to continue to fight.
It's not that I don't doubt your wisdom, but I think we shall see.
Yes, we shall. And for your own sake and your own happiness, I hope that you are right and I am wrong. Believe me, I would be pleasantly surprised. And I would gladly admit my wrongness. You all have strong threads to the pattern. You have all been woven to this thread. And as far as my sight allows me to see, I believe it will carry you to the very end. Unless dark forces are able to remove you. Stand ever stalwart against them. Do not allow them to take you. I fear what would happen if one thread in this part of the pattern is pulled loose. One loose thread in a piece of clothing can unravel it all.
And you can see the form begin to shake and move its head as these, almost like cold chill, the shiver echoes throughout its body. And it returns to looking back at all of you.
Is there anything else you wish to ask of me? If I can offer any wisdom or knowledge, I will do so freely.
I have a few, I think. We, as a group, had been talking about allies that we could potentially have on this next step. And it's great that Rothgar will be one. Do you know, or has your brother told you much about Loki? And do you understand his allegiance or lack thereof to his own family?
Your comment is funny to me, as you have made such a poignant remark without knowing the full truth. Loki is a free spirit, does as they choose, whatever benefits them most in the moment. But although they may not wish to admit it, In some circumstances, they hold a soft spot for their brethren to the south, within the halls of Queen Dilar. You see, Loki was born of those mountain halls. Loki was born in the presence of Laufey in those halls. Odin, however, hoards this knowledge. Knowing it, uses it to poke and prod Loki in whichever way he sees fit. If you were to give Loki an opportunity to free himself from that, if he could feel as though those brethren and sistren in the Hearthstone could protect themselves, perhaps he may work against Odin.
That is really helpful information. Thank you. My next question is, you've been talking a lot about the battle against the Dark One, and I've recently been trying to focus on balance between light and darkness. And I know personally I've been forgetting about this fight against the dark, that there is the other half, the light, and more recently being friends with the Children of the Flame now, I've been realizing that we should maybe be utilizing the light more in our fight. But how do you recommend to go about achieving this balance, and to bring the light into this fight?
That is a question that has pondered the brains and thoughts and minds of heroes since the dawn of time to now. If there is a great entity of darkness, where is this great entity of light to fight back? It was something that clouded me and my brothers and sisters' mind for many, 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 many years. And then we made a discovery. You see, long ago, before the forming of the plains, before the creation of life as we know it, two forces were in constant competition with each other: the light and the dark. Always fighting back and forth. Till eventually their conflict created planes of existence, so much energy and force, created the world that we know today. Eventually, life began to grow. dragons and giants. They picked sides, the light and the dark. They fought and fought and fought. Endless blood, endless death. But death gave way to new life. From the dragons came the dragonborn. From the giants came the Goliath. So on and so forth, until we had all of life as we know it now. Death to life, and death to light. Over and over, darkness against light. Until one faithful day, the light used all of its strength to push the darkness outside of the known world, outside of our known everything. And in that moment that it pushed the darkness out, the light gave up its strength. And it gave it to us. You see, Bianca, when you ask where the light is, I could point you to Nabir Taman, the first flame. I could point you to the blazing sun in our sky. I could point you to Pelor or Kossuth. But the light you search for, none of them can give you. That light to defeat the Dark One. That light was gifted to you tens of thousands of years ago. By the Creator, by the light. Why do you think great heroes are born the way they are? Thrown into a world of strife and pain and constant death. Because those people, where the light is strong enough, where the gift is greatest, will be the ones to lead the way for those who are not strong enough to defend themselves against that darkness. I would love to tell you of a weapon, of a spell that could destroy the Dark One. But sadly, to my knowledge, it does not exist. All there is you, and you, and you, and so many more, who continue to be the torches that ward away the flames. Those flames that wish to consume and enrapture the world in ash and decay. You will be the bright light, that radiant energy to ward off darkness and despair.
Bianca will kind of just nod and then say, "Thank you, but I do have one more question, and it's more personal. And I don't know if you even would know. I've been searching for a long time to know the truth about my family's tie to Isin. what really happened.
And you can see Lo look down at you for a long while. Definitely longer than what you're comfortable with to have a giant salamander creature stare at you. Probably 15, 20 seconds of silence. And like I said, those beams of light that are their eyes just shining down on you like a spotlight.
She's definitely like awkwardly like fidgeting.
Yeah.
Yay. So sorry I asked.
It is strange. This thread, your thread in the pattern. This should never have happened. This was never your purpose. To be the way you are. I see. I see. Well,
You can see the lights kind of dim as a sadness wash over him.
I do not know the truth of the matter in its entirety. But what I can see from looking at the pattern you leave behind, there is no maliciousness in your family's mistakes. There was only ever good intentions. But these good intentions gave the Dark One exactly what he needed to try and twist your pattern away from the path you are on. What was meant to diverge you seems to have set you on your path even stronger than what he could have imagined. There is a chance for you yet, Bianca. Should you choose, when the time comes in your weave. The infernal curse that has been laid upon you by your ancestors can still yet be undone. Should you choose it to be so. Should Issen be destroyed, that connection you have to the Dark One will be shattered, and you will learn what your true face is.
She'll like look to the ground and say, I'll keep trying. And then just look up at him and smile.
What was once sadness, there is a small twinge of hope on his face as he looks back towards the rest of you and says,
Is there anything else I may do for all of you? If not,
One last thing. I beg your pardon, but no one would know my master and myself as well as you. Before he departed, he sent his key into the world, asking not to be reincarnated. Is this the path? The end of everything?
You can see low. There, for a creature as old as this salamander is, it's odd to see confusion and concern to a degree, as they speak very carefully in response.
I suppose, Master Shima, the way and the journey of the Tongwu path is for you to decide, not for me. But what I will say is that the destruction of the pillars that hold everything together may destroy the building, but is it worth it to destroy the building if we do not know yet what is inside?
Thank you for your wisdom. I will ponder this.
Of course. It is my honor to bestow wisdom unto you, great teacher.
He'll clasp his hands and bow his head.
The head of the salamander nods as he looks over the group of you one more time, seeing if there are any more questions for him.
Don't think so.
All right. With that, he will nod and say,
I grow tired, and now must rest. Should you need me, Suni, all you need do is break that scale. And
Okay.
I will come to you. A scale by itself can be broken as easily as a plate. But when those scales stand together, interlaced with one another, nothing can break through. Remember this on your journey.
Thank you.
with that, Lowe's head will nod as you can see them slowly begin to turn and fly up and back around the bend, away from all of you. And as you sit there, looking at the massive salamander fly away, that is where we're going to go ahead and take a break. Woo!
Be right
Yay,
back.
break. All right, break time. BRB. Hi there, everybody. We're back. Woo! All right, let's go ahead and dive in. So, picking up where we left off, our group of adventurers had just got done speaking with, having a brief bit of communion and conversation with Lo, the Eastern Salamander. The thing, right? It's like the guy. And he told them a few things. For one, he told them that Hrothgar is currently with Yorm, the Western Salamander. And that Hrothgar would like to try in whatever way he can to fix or to do whatever he can to redeem himself for what he did, letting his anger and hate blind him in that moment. Party's apprehensive, understandably so. Dude got his arm ripped off because he had a grudge. Not great. But Lo also informs the party of other information. Specifically related to their involvement in the pattern and the weave and how all of them are very important. Something that the party has heard before. And then there were a few questions that were asked by Bianca and Ashima. Bianca asking if he knew anything about her relation to Isin and her family's plight. He informed her that, well, as far as he knows, her family had no malicious intent with whatever deal they made, as far as he could tell from peering into the pattern. On top of that, she asked about balance and this great fight between darkness and light and what purpose is she supposed to serve, and where do we find this light to use? Where do we go for that? And in brief, Lo said that light is inside each one of you. Each great hero that fights against the Dark One has that light within them to withstand against that darkness and to lead others to fight against it. Reason it being there is when the Creator pushed the Dark One out of reality, the Creator sacrificed themselves to give that power to those around them, to those that it created. And so, that light was gifted to all great heroes who have their souls and their lives tied to the pattern to fight against the Dark One. So, that is what Bianca asked about. And then Ashima asked Lo about what past Master Ashima had said. If it was true that the only way to defeat the Dark One would be to quit the seeking of the reincarnations of Feym and Tongwu. If the reincarnation is stopped, then the cycle is broken, and the destruction of everything cannot be achieved if those cyclical elements of our world are stopped. Lo is very apprehensive to answer confidently, but just gives Ashima something to think about. If you choose to break the supports that hold up a house without knowing what's inside, well, is that really something you want to do? So with that, Ashima has much to think on, much to reflect on, and our party, with their new information, their new ally, and their new knowledge of several different people in their lives, they leave the Salamander's cave, returning to the temple. And with that, as all of you come back to the temple, Lao Fei smiles and says, "So, I hope that everything went all right, and that it wasn't too rough of a time for you. You were in there for quite a while."
You know, I've had a lot of questions my whole life. And there I was, in a room with this all-knowing thing, and I didn't feel like there was anything I had to ask.
Hmm.
I guess I got everything I needed yesterday. So, thank you. I didn't really say it before, but thank you.
Laufey smiles and says, "Well, it's very good to hear. In all honesty, I don't even know if Lo would have had the answers to the questions you were looking for. I think that was
No.
something supremely unique to Tyr."
I think whatever I've got left to find out, I need to figure out on my own. That's okay.
Good. The rest of you?
There were some things left unanswered, but I think that's good. But we got a lot of answers. I think that will help us in our next steps. I hope.
I hope as well. Well, I suppose if there's no other comments you'd like to make, the rest of the day is yours, and I'll see you sometime tomorrow.
Thank you.
That she'll nod and smile, and all of you are free to pass and head back out into the Hidden Valley.
On the way out, Morin's just been like holding Carasol's hand ever since their conversation with like Lo. And as they're walking, she's just gonna lean in. He's wrong. We can still fix this.
Certainly where my mind's been. Also, I guess, figuring out what the fuck Hrothgar's doing. Almost glad we didn't end up wanting to contact Loki. I feel like I have a couple words that I would want to spare for him.
No,
You alright though?
I'll be fine. Let's just get back to the house and figure out what our next move is.
Whatever it is, we are close.
So close.
Actually, thinking about what Bianca had to do for the day before we talked to Lo, I forgot she was going to talk to Laufey, so she'll probably just hang back and talk to Laufey. Like, let's go, everybody. Oops. This is where I need to
See you
be.
there.
You know what? Yeah, you guys go ahead. I gotta look at this tree in here.
Thing.
There's a big tree.
Fast travels back.
All right.
Yeah.
Whoops.
You exit the temple and promptly re-enter, and Laufey says, "Oh, wow, you're back.
I
Man, I
there's-
keep telling you that I'll see you tomorrow, and then I just keep seeing you today. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy."
It's almost like when you say goodbye and then you have to like head in the same direction.
walk the
and
same
you're, like,
direction,
"Do we keep
yeah.
talking?" Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
the worst. Anyway,
Yeah, I choose to go
I
the
just
opposite way and then double back later, and
oh, that's commitment.
yeah.
I didn't even think about doing that. I just live in the awkward and
Oh,
am
wow.
in pain the whole time.
Yeah, see, I try and
I'll
be adverse from pain most of the time, but if you're into that, I guess you're into that.
I'm gonna guess I am. I didn't know I was, but anyway.
Well, it's good you're having this moment of self-discovery. I'm glad that I could be here for this. Anyway, what did you want to talk about?
I'm sorry, I'm dead.
It's okay. We're all dead. It's all a dream. Wake up. Wake up, Bianca. Okay. I'm sorry. All right. Bianca, you've come back. What? Pretend that didn't happen.
Just erase everything. Sorry, I did have questions for you. I don't know if you can help with this. So I don't know if you were aware either that we discovered that the room that the stone is most likely being kept in is a space that Odin knows when someone enters.
Yes.
I'm like somewhat familiar with magic, but it's really not like my thing. I didn't really study it too hard. Is there any way we can enter a space without being detected or setting off an alarm or however that works?
Considering Odin's knowledge and power, I would assume that it's some type of altered alarm spell, where if any person that he doesn't deem is allowed to crosses a line, then, well, he is immediately notified of that. The one thing that I can say is that a spell known as Dispel Magic, if it's targeted on the right area, can break the enchantment without the person noticing. Until eventually they go to realize that the spell never expired on its own. It never stopped happening. They just ceased to focus on it. So that could be something, but in order for you to do that, you'd need to be able to see where the magic is originating from. And to do that, you probably would need to enter the room. If you'd like, I could prepare a scroll of a fairly powerful dispel magic just in case, but I can't promise that it would work.
Better than nothing. Yeah, I think we'd really appreciate that.
Of course. I should have it ready by tomorrow afternoon then.
Okay, great. Okay. I think that's all we need. Or at least that I had. Thank
Very
you so
well.
much for all your help.
Of course, we are all tied together in this same conflict, so it's easy for me to help out those who seem to know what the right path is.
And she'll just kind of give a nod and then be on her way.
All right.
And she's done. She's done her chore.
All right. Good luck with the whole awkward thing. Hope it gets better in the future.
I don't know if it will, unfortunately.
Sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. All right,
She'll give
bye.
a thumbs up.
I just realized I have to exit. I have to go somewhere. Wait here. All right.
Well, that's great, because I gotta go the opposite direction now.
There's
suddenly.
only one doorway out of this temple to the rest of them.
You don't know if I was gonna go talk to Lo again. I do this thing where I double back, so.
That's okay. Okay, bye. All right.
Well, that was wonderful.
All right. Bianca, you finish your chore. However, the rest of the five of you head back towards home. In the meantime, are the five of you stop anywhere on the way back to the tower, or are you just heading straight back to the tower?
Morwen would just head back.
In the castle.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Cecily will await further instructions on talking to people. But yeah, so she'll just head back with everybody.
Okay. All right. So with that, the five of you head back to the tower, and Bianca, you arrive shortly after they arrive. With that,
Well.
the 6 of you are now in the tower, sitting at the table with one another. Probably at this point, it's maybe noon-ish.
Yeah, once they get back, since they are still all in a group, Carousel will just say, unless anyone else had some last minute business, I think I'll take last use of sending for myself. I think it's a good idea that we contact Rothgar.
I do think that's a good idea. I am curious about opening up the low-key conversation again with our new information, but I think it would be more beneficial to talk to Rothgar before we just suddenly see him again.
Well, selfishly, I must admit it's mostly about Children of the Flame business, but if there was any serious concerns, sure, I can find a way to get that in, but I'm not sure if we'll exactly need his help if we're just going through the temple. Imagine having someone like him around would draw more than enough attention, so unless we're planning to have some form of a diversion, then I think he's best left as a future contact.
I was thinking more of a diversion as well. We already have too many people going through a space that we're not supposed to be in. But no, I see no reason why you shouldn't be able to talk to him about anything you need to.
Well, if there's no objection.
Go ahead.
So, sending to Rothgar.
All right.
Heard you're no longer going to Bromsgrove. What of the Children of the Flame? Appreciate the change of heart, but are you not still needed?
You receive a response. Hello. God, a lot of energy in that. The plan is still to return to Bromsgrove. That's just one word. When my arm is all the way grown back. If I am to challenge the current contender,
Raven Hunt.
strength needed. There you go. That's 25.
Well, I suppose that answers that. And, well, I guess it's a good thing that he's getting his arm back. So, I imagine
Getting his arm back.
apparently he's able to regrow it.
That's
surprised,
fucking wild.
I imagine Yorm has, if not power themselves, the ability to get it, so it only makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not gonna draw the line at regrowing arms. We just met an ancient salamander.
Or, Felicity,
More
like
direct.
a salamander. Salamanders can grow their limbs back.
This is true.
Ambystoma, baby.
But yeah, more directed at Morwen. It's a good thing that Draven's not going to be getting anywhere, hopefully.
Yeah. Let's hope none of that's necessary anyway.
Hopefully.
You know, for what it's worth, I don't know if what Lo said is true. And if all those soldiers are gone. But But
I think the most important thing is that when we do go back, they won't be gone at all, not in the slightest. None of them will be. And we're not fools. We're not thinking that we're gonna get through any battle without any casualties. That's the nature of war. It always has been. But what happened there, I don't see how that could be of benefit to anything.
all I want to say is, didn't seem like there was much hope for me, and here I am. And she'll look at Morwen. And you're the one that carried me. So, when it comes to bringing back corpses, even if it seems like there's no reason to hope, think you might do all right.
Thank you. I was worried you were going to try and talk us out of it.
Though, to be fair, there would be no talking us out of it, I feel.
What right would I have to talk you out of saving someone's life now?
Well, I meant you as in everyone, but yes, your point still stands.
Well,
It's part of why we're here. I mean, of course, we're with you completely in preventing the heist. But, well, the heist is one thing. Catastrophic battles another. And I don't think we need to only worry about one thing at a time there. I think there is still great potential for both to be remedied.
I've already made the Dark One angry. I say let's do it 2 more times.
Hopefully more than that.
Well, start small.
If any of those soldiers felt what I felt, then I want to do whatever we can. I mean, shit, I kind of don't want anyone to die anymore, but I know that's still gonna have to happen. Can't help but think of all the people that have died already. The times I've done it. I wonder what they felt. I bet not all of them had a group around them that was begging for them to come back. Not all of them had a 3,000-year-old monk and a soldier that was willing to carry him anywhere, or someone that could ask the Raven Queen to look at them. If we can fix that, we need to.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah. And you see the sort of like strange wisdom that just came through her, sort of just like breathe out and then just I'm hungry. Oh right, food person. Should we still do that?
I think it's important.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll make me feel like we're gonna make it back here if we get some stuff going, you know?
Do you have plans then for the future here?
Well, she'll cringe a little bit. I think I brought up wanting to be a monk last night, which wasn't wise. Not something I stand behind.
That's a little antithetical to the whole monk path then.
Well, I think I want to learn something here. And she'll look at Ashima right now, too. I don't know what it takes to be a monk, and I'm sure I can't do it. And I don't know if people that aren't monks are allowed in a monastery. I don't really know anything, but ever since what happened, I just feel like I shouldn't take anything for granted, and one of those things is all of the lessons you have. And I think now I get why you say some things the way you do. It's because simple words don't do it sometimes. There's just a lot there's a lot I don't get. And I know I don't do key or balancing on sticks or any of those things, but if there was something I could learn, something that made the storm make more sense, I don't think I would have been ready for Fjarlaleth if it wasn't for you. The little lessons we had. So, if you want to make a monastery happen, then I'm gonna try to help.
Yeah, he'll look at her, head slightly cocked, nose in the air. Say, we have many pilgrims in Loshar who try our ways, but ultimately abandon them. And he'll reach down and look for a second for a flat stone and place it in her hand. However, you understand. That is the first stone.
Okay. Well then,
Oh,
tell me
monasteries or
what we
not.
should.
What?
Please
you,
continue.
you, you, You go ahead. You go ahead.
This is a complete change. Continue your thing.
No. She was basically just gonna say, whatever needs to be done, just let me know. That was about it.
Okay. Well.
Monasteries or not, again, our offer of joining us and our men still stands. I know Lo had a couple of words about the Children of the Flame, but I think those that perhaps deliberately forsake their oaths aren't exactly the people I think that it should be defined by. And again, we welcome any of you that wish to join. Be in good company, at least.
I'm definitely still open. I think I'd like to see where these next couple steps lead first. But she's gonna smile and say, I kind of think it's a good idea.
Well, I think monasteries and barracks are both places where orphans end up a lot, so either way, I'll probably be in the right place.
Well, if we're going to be in Bromsgrove soon, then opportunity for it is, well, could be, I guess, upon us. And again, not to force anyone into anything they don't want.
Joe, are we gonna be in?
Regardless.
Sorry.
Regardless of what you choose, you can always count us as allies.
Are we gonna be in Bromsgrove when past Caracilla and Morwyn are still in Bromsgrove?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
They left before then.
Yeah, I think at that point they were in Bellaclara, in all honesty. I think they were in Giant's Bridge when that was happening.
Ah, okay.
That would be wild.
We have to, like, avoid them.
Have a Captain America fight with the former Dulskis.
Potentially, yeah. It'd be interesting. But it's not happening!
Remember, I asked her, then you gave me a date, but you said November 29th, and I'm just like, that means nothing to me. What are the equivalents of like Killicom?
I don't know. You figure it out.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus, it's not like the resources are there or anything. Why do I have to do everything for you, Gemma?
Jesus.
Well, if you all have more stops or visits to make, now is certainly the time. I think I'm going to stay here and prepare myself for tomorrow.
Yeah, and I texted it, but we don't have to roleplay it or anything. But Bianca will either A, find healing potions, as many as she can get, or find the supplies to make them herself.
Yeah, that's easy enough. I think that obviously they would just be willing to donate them to the cause, but it's just a matter of supplies. So they'd probably have, we'll say, like 5 greater healing potions. That'd probably be what they'd be able to sort of give
And you get a
up.
healing potion. And you get a healing potion.
Exactly.
Everyone put 1 greater healing potion then in your inventory.
Nice.
Hey.
Cool.
Hell yes.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Now-
You're the
now that's
one
it for right.
who wanted to search for it. That's all you.
But now Bianca's done with chores. So she'll just be doing chores around the tower, cleaning
yeah.
up before they leave.
There you go. Never want to leave a dirty house.
Girl Scouts on it.
Heck yeah.
She's not a Girl Scout.
All right. Any other specific things as you guys prepare for your journey on the next day?
I mean, if they have the time, since Aaron mentioned something about a little compartment thing in the cloak, I think Carousel would probably just spend the rest of the day trying to, like, find said compartment.
Okay. Yeah, you spend a lot of the time during the day sort of poking around, feeling around for different flaps or folds or pockets or anything. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
15.
15? Yeah, you find the smaller pockets where the daggers are hidden. But you don't find any secret compartment. You know, there's no like loose threads or anything that you can pull to open anything up or anything like that. It's just there are 4 pockets on the inside that each have a dagger in them, and so you found those. But other than that, you're not really exactly sure what he may have been talking about, as far as you can tell right now.
Shall leave it to ponder another day then.
All right. Okay. Anything else, Governor?
Well, food person? Is it gonna happen? Does anyone want to come with me? Anybody?
You better make a menu for us.
I mean, Suni will go with you, but I don't know if he's gonna be much better than
Hey, man.
anything else.
Two's great, but three's a crowd, to quote the room, so come along.
Okay.
Solid room reference.
Thank you. Took a while to get appreciation around here, but I'm glad I got some. Man. But yeah, that'll be funny, if nothing else. Sometimes that's a goal in and of itself.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. So you head out, and you head deeper into the rocky, hidden valley covered in waterfalls and these small farms interconnected by wooden platforms as you exit out into the larger area of Loshar. So, as you begin your journey, easily enough, based off of Laofei's instructions, you are able to find Somo, this sort of lead farmer, person in charge of a lot of the agriculture around the area. So after asking around just for a little bit, get a little bit of back and forth until eventually you do find sort of what seems to be the largest farm where there's a collection of fruits and vegetables growing in these different constructed would look to almost be like greenhouses, but you can see that there are these like magical runes sort of glowing on the sides of this glass that seem to be controlling the temperature to a certain degree. As you make your way around the corner, you can see there is a woman currently tending to this massive garden, this massive farm. Probably half elven. You can see that she has a small bit of point to her ears. This sort of like pale yellow skin, almond-shaped eyes, and a stern look on her face. Skin definitely tanned from being out and about underneath the sun, and wearing very simple, more rugged clothes, a little bit dusty, a little bit dirty from being a sort of hands in the soil type of person. But you can very much assume that this woman is Somo. I'm going to share that with you.
Nice. I like Somo.
Thank you. All right. So she's currently hands in the dirt, look to be tilling something. So it's up to whoever wants to approach the situation.
Okay, Suni, who's taking the lead here?
Hey, this is your thing. I'm along for the ride. And if you need backup.
All right. Back up away, Paladin. And she'll just dramatically clear her throat. Yeah, thanks. Hey, so we're we're friends of
Hello.
Yeah.
There's no need to yell. Would you like something to eat?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Someone told me once that people from Waterswake just talk really loud. I don't know if that's true, but
Well, now you're
I don't
talking
know.
at a normal volume, but before you were speaking very loudly.
Yeah, well, I got chided. Anyway, um,
Chided. Oh.
ch what? Maybe you didn't. I don't know. I don't even really know what that word means. Anyway, hi. We are friends of Laufey, and we were told that you would be the food person.
Yes.
Would you say that you are a food person?
On any given day, I do feel rather fondly about food, yes.
All right, this is great start. So basically, we're hoping this place is gonna be kind of a home base. We might go on a very big trip tomorrow, and hopefully we come back, and when we do, we're hoping Ashima's looking to get a bit of a monastery going, I think, and we might have allies that we need to feed.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have anybody that was super qualified to go talk to you about this, but I
All right.
also like food. So
Okay.
here I am.
Okay, well, that is amazing. For one, thank you for being willing to come down here to speak with me. I greatly appreciate it. All in all, in terms of our current capacity, currently we're in a surplus. So any food that is not consumed on a day-to-day basis is put into storage. And as of right now, we have enough supplies to feed the entire population of people that are here for about 6 months should we need to and not be able to produce any new food.
Wow.
Yes,
That's
we do.
pretty solid.
Oh, thank you. I pride myself. I've spent much time learning how best to use the soil and, well, use what talents I have, combined with knowledge that was gifted to me by Lo, that was used by the Detsy. Very thankful to him for the knowledge he's given. However, Laufey has informed me of your stay and that more people may be coming day in, day out based off of your activity. So provided that the build is steady, there's never a large group of people, say of some 50 or 60 plus coming in at one point in time, we should be able to maintain the curve rather easily. Of course, the only thing we have to worry about is if there are people that are coming in. A lot of the crops and plant life that I grow in this farm and all around here, they can be rather sensitive to outside sources. So making sure that when we bring in a new group of people that they have time to acclimate to this system and this area of the world before they go on planting or tilling ground. The soil is rather
Right.
sensitive here.
Well, What time of year is it? My brain is scrambled. Is planting season coming up?
Well, in all honesty, because of the heat that is given off by the natural hot springs within the mountains and the magical essence that Lo provides for us, the reason we have so much food is because, at least in this valley, every season is planting season. We are in a constant state of planting, growing, harvesting, and replanting, growing and harvesting.
Wow. Even when it's winter?
Yes, as it is right now.
Oh, yeah, right, shit. Huh. Well, that's great. I mean, because then you can... I just remember, winter being really hard back home.
So you said Water's Wake, right?
Yeah.
I
For most of it, yeah.
I've never been to Water's Wake personally, but I used to live right outside of Wukome City, and there would be times where travelers from there would come and visit. Not farmers, though, right? Fishermen, for the most part, or gardeners?
Yeah, pretty much. But sometimes the places they'd go fishing would freeze over. I got yelled at once for trying to learn how to skate out there. They said it wasn't good.
No, you never know how thin ice is going to be, and I'm sure that's the last thing somebody wanted to lose, was some
Yeah.
young girl going out ice skating, trying to have a good time, and then falling into the frozen waters. I don't think anybody would want that.
They were mostly concerned about the stolen skates.
Well, that too, I suppose.
Yeah, I became a good person yesterday. So...
Well, considering you're only, what, 16, 17 years old? You are
Yeah.
well ahead of the curve of many, many, many other people. So, good on you for figuring that out this early on.
Oh, wow, I'm ahead now? That's new.
How does that feel?
Weird. I almost want to go back.
No. We don't do that here. We don't go back to the bad times.
Oh, I am not gonna steal anything here. I'm gonna steal something in a place where it would actually, it's like justified.
Justified?
Oh, we're totally gonna rob Odin, right?
Oh yeah, I mean that's our mission.
Hell yeah. I mean,
That's
like,
what
not
we're doing.
stone. I mean, of like, he's got to have some really.
Do you two
Yeah, might as
need?
well take a gem or two over
Do
there.
you?
Well,
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Do you two need anything else?
Oh, right. Sorry, forgot
That
I
is-
was here to. Okay.
All right.
Okay, and it occurs to me that I was being loud again. So we have so much food here that is there anything we're able to do with the surplus? I mean, I know it's good if other people show up, but are you sure everyone here is fed? I mean,
yes, as
as
much
long
as
as
they would.
I'm the person in charge of food, I kind of want to make sure that nobody's sitting around hungry, you know?
Of course. It's good in someone so young to have such a strong sense of self-proclaimed leadership. That's very nice. But no, anyone is more than free to eat as much as they would like. As hopefully you've grown to learn so far in your time here, but no one need pay for anything, provided they do their work, they do their job. To the best of their ability, they will eat, they will have clothes on their back, and they will have the things they need.
I know that you said that Lo is helping with keeping the crops right and everything, but I guess I'm a servant of the Mother of Mountains, and I don't know if it would be helpful. I don't really know how to do any of this stuff yet, but maybe I could try to pray over it and have Elowen bless crops. I don't really know. First time paladin.
Of course, that's very sweet of you to offer, but I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, Paladin of Elowen, but when it comes to Elowen blessing soil, you don't just sprinkle some water on it and say a few holy words like some priest or priestesses. And she kind of pulls out like a cultivator and spade from her like little belt and kind of hands it towards you. You bless the soil by tilling it yourself. So, get to work, Mr. Paladin, if you truly like to help.
Okay. And he will get to helping.
Oh, and you're laughing because why? I actually have some seeds here, Miss Leader of the Food Stuff in the Hidden Valley. Here you go. Take those seeds. There is a large farm to the northwest of where we're standing right now. I want you to take 3 of those seeds, put them every 2 feet, all right?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Thank you so much for your counsel and your curiosity. It's greatly appreciated. Well, chop chop, get to work.
Suni will lean over to Cecily and say, "Did we just get duped into doing chores?"
Maybe this is why no one else volunteered to come here.
That doesn't look like cultivating or planting.
Yeah, okay. Alright, here we go. Seed time.
All right.
Woo!
There you go.
Start walking over.
Okay. So
Suni will take this very serious when he is trying to...
Yeah, her too. She's like mildly irked, but it's also like, well, I should try. You know? Just a bit. You know that teenage thing where you're like, man, the fucking with you? Well, okay.
And then you do the thing so bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, the 2 of you do your chores. It takes you probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get through everything that was asked of you. And Suni, as you're cultivating, right, doing it by hand, digging your hands into the soil, there was something that Ashima had said long ago, back when Cecily was first trying to find peace. And that was that meditation can come in many forms, and it varies from person to person. And there is just something about this, tilling the soil and connecting, putting your hands in the dirt, feeling that energy and giving back to the earth. There is something so peaceful about it, especially in an area undisturbed like this. And it's just nice. You don't speak with Elowen, you don't say anything to her, but you can feel the soil. The soil has made a connection to you. And you feel as though whatever is planted here will probably grow a little bit brighter and a little bit faster than if it were planted somewhere else. So, after the 2 of you finish your chores, and you come back to the sort of large barn house where Somo had walked into, as soon as you're walking back, hands dirty, boots and feet covered and caked in mud and dust, you can see that Somo comes out with a tray in her hands. You can see there are 2 glasses of what looked to be a cool liquid, and then what looked to be some small rice cakes. And she brings them over to the 2 of you and says, well, for a
hard few hours of work. I think you should be justly rewarded. And she gestures out the drink and the food to you. And you can see that there's some light coloring to the rice patties. And Cecily, as soon as you smell it, it smells of like sweetness, like nutmeg and cinnamon and sugar. Very sweet rice cakes. And she says, these were some of my son's favorites, and I hope you enjoy them same as he did.
Cecily will, she'll read between the lines of that comment. I don't know if the son is gone or dead or whatever, but she'll not make a joke out of it, as would normally be her impulse. And she'll nod. And she'll take a bite. And I assume it's incredible. I mean, rice cake, that's like low char bread.
Yeah.
My guy.
Yeah, they are sweet and crunchy. It's kind of
Nice.
it's like a good kind of crunchy cookie.
Nice.
Yeah, compared to
she'll
Morwen's drink, it's heavenly. Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, well, this is by far the best thing I've tasted today.
I would heavily agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Your son had a very nice taste. This is delicious.
Well, don't forget to try the lemonade, freshly squeezed. Made it myself just a little bit ago.
Cecily's gonna hold a rice cake for half-eaten rice cake forward and be like, "Team food. Come on, put it in.
Food.
Team food."
Food.
Team food.
She said it.
Yeah. Life is simple sometimes.
Oh,
It's
yes.
good when it is.
Yeah. She'll eat the rest of her snacks.
Now I want lemonade. Right?
What a pleasant 48 hours this has been.
Mhm.
Oh god, it's about to all go back.
Glad
We
you
needed a
enjoyed
vacation.
the lemonade and rice cakes. The lemonade was my my wife's recipe. She was always very specific about exactly how much water, exactly how much sugar, and exactly how much lemon juice you would put in it. Sometimes I try and ballpark it, but it just doesn't. Never tastes the same unless I follow exactly what she had written down.
I get that. Of course, my mom used to always eyeball it, so I guess I don't at the same time.
Well, I think that's all the help I needed for today. And I know that the two of you have very important things that you'll be getting to tomorrow, so... if I could say one thing before you leave.
Yeah.
I truly commend your bravery for what you're going up against. The Dark One took my family from me. And these people are the only family I have left now. And I know I joked when you first got here, but I do consider it to be a great honor to be able to till soil and plant seeds with the two of you. So thank you.
Well, we share in that honor.
You do.
And soon you will present the spade back to her.
Yes, thank you. Last thing I want is for you to go off on a dangerous mission that I can't till my soil. Safe travels to the both of you.
Yeah, we'll see you again.
She'll nod her head, and with that, she'll head back inside.
And as we're going, Cecily will just kind of say to Suni, I haven't just brought her up like that in a long time.
Yeah. I'm proud of you. Who knew that dying could make you mature so quickly?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if I die again and I never brought her up, then none of you would know. And she would kind of just die with me.
You're not gonna die again, though. At least not before you get to tell us everything.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it through.
Hey, I'm not gonna show this to anyone else probably for a while, but, you know how I was acting way back when it was, my name day?
Yeah.
Well, I had my birth mom, Estrid, that we learned about in Fjarlaleth. Then I had a really, really shitty mom right before we left Water's Wake. But, in between that, I had my mom. The person I mean when I say mom. And I could probably talk about her for a year, but, anyway, she gave me this. And Cecily will fiddle with the locket around her neck and then clasp it open. And just kind of embarrassed looking away, she'll turn it to Suni. And yeah, inside is not a depiction of Estrid, but a depiction of Denier, her adoptive mother that she had for a few years. And it's a depiction of Denier, a slender elven woman, holding on to what seems to be a young girl. And engraved into the side in Common and in Elvish is Happy Name Day to the most beautiful 10-year-old girl in the world.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
She had kind eyes. Suni will put a hand on Cecily's shoulder and say, "Thank you for sharing. I know it's hard. And I meant it when I said that I was proud of you. and then he will just give her a very, very tight, strong hug, and then release after a moment.
Yeah. And she'll take a breath, she'll wipe a tear or two, and close it up. And then just as she does, just kind of immediately undercut it. Besides, I had to stay alive for those fucking rice cakes. I mean, God.
Soon he rolls his eyes a little bit, but then he will pick up in the conversation as well.
Okay. All right.
Delicious.
With that, eventually the two of you do return back to the tower within the hidden valley. Re-entering the room, they for the rest of you in the tower, they re-enter maybe 2.5, 3 hours later. Both of them are just a little dirty. They've got some dust, they've got some mud, but they seem to have a fairly jovial mood as they enter.
You two look pleased.
Food, Morwen. It's good stuff.
True.
You all really missed out.
It seems I did.
That's okay. There'll be food when we get back. They had a lot of it. It was like too much.
Yeah, but those
Well-
rice are delicious.
Oh. Fuck.
Why didn't you tell us about rice cakes, Ashima? They're delicious.
I figured you'd stumble upon them yourselves.
Well,
For the end of the world and all life and... No. Slipped my mind.
yeah. That's only fair. Still, you guys eat good here. It's different, but I am not disappointed. Anyway, is there anything else we gotta do, or
I
do we
mean,
just
out
have
of. Sorry. Go
one
on.
last? Yeah, she was just gonna say, do we have anything left to do, or is this just one last night now?
I mean, out of character, Morin had something she wanted to do, but if we don't have time for it, so be it. If we do, cool, but it's not my call.
Yeah. There is time.
Okay.
What did Morwen wish to accomplish?
This would probably be before they got back, but we can just say it's afterwards too. Just at some point, she would try and find Bianca when she's on her own.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's while she was doing chores while they were gone or now, doesn't make a difference to me. So, but yeah, at some point, I imagine Morin came back in from like her workout and just like training, getting ready in case they have to like fight Odin tomorrow. You know. And I think she would like just pass the room and see that like Bianca's like cleaning or fixing something, and she would kind of stop and look back. Hey, you feeling all right?
Feeling okay? You?
Oh, as good as I can be, I imagine. Just trying to be prepped for tomorrow. I only ask. You seemed a little quiet after our conversation with Lo. I just was wondering if he upset you or something.
Oh, no. No, I mean, there was more answers, at least with my personal question, but it also was kind of things I knew. It was more just an elaboration on things I already knew, so it didn't really get to me, but I'm pretty anxious about tomorrow, but no, nothing that he said really bothered me.
Can't blame you for being anxious. I think we're all feeling that way. But we have a plan. We have people we can call upon, and we will see it through.
The only thing that was kind of on my mind that I think you might be referring to. I don't even know if I should bring it up, though.
Well, when you say it like that, now you have to, or it's just going to be weird.
I know. I don't know much about my new devotion to the Raven Queen. I'm still learning a lot. Feel like I've really just barely skimmed the top of what the whole thing is. But and I don't even know how this even plays a part. Because if we go back in time, your men are still alive, so I don't see what the issue would be. But I know there's a balance that has to be kept. And I don't really know what that means for this situation. And then I feel terrible because it's also like Cecily's back because my outreach to the Raven Queen, or at least she's back because of one of the aspects of why she's back. So I don't know. I guess that's it. I feel a little stumped. I don't really know what all that means.
If I might ask, what are you actually trying to say?
I don't know. I'm worried that it's not a matter of that we can't save them, but that we shouldn't.
Wow. Wow.
I don't think that's a call any of us can really make.
Lauren walks like further into the room. Can I explain something to you?
Of course.
2 nights ago, I meant what I said. That what happened with Cecily was not your fault. And I knew that you felt responsibility because you're her friend and you were there. And that doubt starts creeping into your mind. Was there some sort of action or inaction that I could have done that could have changed that outcome? And it was eating at you. Because it was too late, she was gone. Taken from you. Like that. And then, she was returned to you. Within the hour. So, I thought you understood. What happened in Delmer's Pass. People that I knew for years were taken from me. And there were no friends there to save them or bring them back. They were brutally torn apart, left out to rot, and let his monsters feed on them. That was months ago, Bianca.
Morwen, I'm not saying we shouldn't try. I'm concerned. Because if I tried with Cecily, and it worked, which was great. I didn't know if it would. My job is to help bridge souls to the next life. I didn't even know if she would bother to hear me out. But this is not just one life, this is a lot. I think we should try, but I'm nervous that it's out of our control.
I can't afford to think like that. Because here's the difference. Along with the sheer number, Bianca. And you're going to tell me no, that it's not true? You're going to tell me I'm blaming myself and I shouldn't? But the difference is, those men being dead is my fault.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
How, Morwen? How could it all be your fault?
Because we recruited them. Carousella and I. And here's the thing. After being a part of the Children of the Flame for a year, Carousella was done. I could see it in her eyes that she didn't want to be a part of it. She had nothing against the organization, but she wanted to do other things. But she was happy. She saw that I was happy. That I was finally doing something. So we never talked about it. She stayed because it was what I wanted. Not her. So all those men that we took a responsibility for, every single one of them that we recruited, that we trained, that we fought, and that we bled with, and then we went to Delmar's Pass, and we knew that there was a strong chance that we weren't going to go home. We knew that.
Which
But we
means
told them that we'd face it together. And then Dorian gave us the letter to go to Hrothgar. Carousella wanted to stay with the men. I didn't. I wanted to save her. So I talked her into leaving. Every decision that led to them being there and dying was mine. And I have to make that right. Or she'll never look at me the same way again.
Bianca will hug Morwen in this moment and just let her cry for a second.
Oh, and yeah, you feel them hard. I have to save them. I can't fail, not this time. I have to do something right.
I will help you to the best of my ability. But you need to know, even after everything you just explained to me, you are doing things right. Yes, you recruited those men, but they knew the risks, like you said. They died so that we could have a chance. Imagine where we'd be at if you guys stayed. If no one made it out. Would Hrothgar have even cared about Desmond? Would we have gotten nearly as far with Odin? Would we all have died in that mine? Hell, We knew nothing of what you guys brought to our attention, especially Emerald. With the help of that dust that Desmond had, I was stumped. Thank God you guys said something. Are we walking around with a bomb? A time bomb? I will help, but you need to know that there's only so much we can do. And yes, we're about to take on, or try to take on the Dark One. But some things, like death, are beyond what we can do or should do. But I will try.
That's all I'm asking.
I can promise you I'll try. I swear.
Lauren will break away and just wipe at her eyes. I really just hope he's wrong. I'm just scared that he isn't.
Me too.
Can you just tell the others I took a nap or something? I don't want them to see me like this.
Of course.
And Morn will just turn and walk back to her room for the evening.
Okay. Morwen, as you head back to your room, Bianca, you're left in silence in that moment. And as you eventually sort of tune back into reality, Bianca, after zoning out for just a hot second, the next thing you notice is you can hear the sounds of Cecily, and Suni, and Carasilla, and Shima down below, enjoying themselves, laughing, joking, having a good time. And it is this stark contrast between the two halves of being an adventurer, being this light in the world. While you're expected to lead people and expected to be that source of brightness and joy, there is also so much grief and pain that each one of these heroes carries with them. And in that moment, you have a brief thought of clarity. The balance. The people downstairs and Morwen upstairs, nobody's right or more right than the other. This is what it is to be that light in the world. To be hopeful, yet full of grief. And on that note, that is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Woo!
So, like, when do we start writing for a Netflix show, my guys? When do we? I mean, oh man, hopeful but full of grief. You busting out the big shit, Joe. You got the big with the lines.
Yeah, that's what they call in the movie business a callback.
Yeah.
It was full of so many
Boom.
callbacks. It was a callback to Bianca's question. It was a callback to Morwen's line. It was both of them doing the same. I was very happy that it kind of worked out that way. A lot of fun. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for playing, you guys. Greatly appreciate you. With that, we will see you on Friday for the continuation of the Explorers of Afera, on Saturday for the continuation of the Isles of Iverion, or next Tuesday for the continuation of the Salamander Coast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Ba-ba-boom, ba-ba-ba-ba.